Hello guys, welcome once again. In this video I'm going to show you how you can use data structure or simply structures in C++. So first of all, why we need to use structures in C++. So in the earlier videos I have shown you you can define a variable in C++ like this: int and the name of the variable and this semicolon, or char and the name of the variable and the semicolon. So this int and char are the predefined data type which is provided by C++ to us. So we haven't defined this int or this char. Now suppose you want to define your own data type, you can use structure to define your own data types. So let me give you an example. Now for example, you want to define a structure for a book. A book can contain name, book author, or book ID, and you want to use these name, author, and ID as a data type, or book as a data type. Then how you can define a structure for the book? So the basic syntax of the structure is you just write struct and the name of the structure you want to define. So in our case we are defining book, or books will be appropriate, and then just give the semicolon and this colon to complete the structure. Now this is the basic definition of structure, and now inside structure you can define the traits of the book. For example, book has some name, book can be written by some author, and book has some ID. So you can define it like this: char name of array 50. Array can contain 50 character, for example. Char of author, which also can contain 50 character. And for example, int, you define the book ID like this. So now you have defined a new data type called book, and now you can use this data type in order to call these members of your structure. So how you can call this structure from in your main? You just need to once again use the keyword struct and the name of your structure, which is book, and then you need to give the name of the variable you want to give to your book data type. So for example, I will define book1 as a variable name, and now for example I want to assign the value to my book1 variable, which is of kind book, or the data type of book1 variable is books, right? So I want to assign some values to my book. Now I can assign value to my book like this. I will write the name of my variable book1, and when I use dot, which is called dot separator, then you can see the option I can call any of the three members using this dot separator. For example, first of all I will call this name, and then I can give equal to and give the name of the author. So not the name of the author, but the name of the book. So name of the book, for example, we can give C++ tutorials. Okay, but one more thing I want to show you, that this type of assignment to the character array is not very efficient. In order to copy a string inside a character array efficiently, there is other way of copying this array inside your character array. So what you can do is you can use the keyword string copy, and as a first argument of this string copy, you can give the name of the variable, which is book1.name, in which you want to copy the string. And as a second variable, you can give the name, give the string which you want to copy in this character array variable. So this is the more efficient way of copying the string into a character array, right? So avoid using this type of assignment whenever you want to assign a string inside a character array. Just use the code like this. This is more efficient. Okay, so this is a good practice in C++ to use string copy instead of directly assign by equal to. Now, and one more thing, in order to use this keyword string copy, you need to use this library. So just write include C string library. Just include this library in order to use this keyword string copy. I will just copy this once again and paste it here. And this time I want to give the name of the author. For example, I will give the name of the author as programming knowledge. Okay. And then I want to assign the ID of the author. So I will write book1 dot id equal to 1, for example, right? Now, for example, I want to access the data which is contained by book variable, right? What I can do is I will write cout book one name, and then you can just access it by this book1 dot name. Okay, copy it and paste it here, and just give the regular end line, right? I'm going to just copy this 2 more times, and I will say book1 author, and here also author, and book1 ID, and here also ID. Now when I compile the program, hopefully it will compile successfully. Yes, it compiles with 0 error and 0 warning. Now when I run the program, this will show whatever I assigned to my book data type. You can see you can access this content in this book variable by book1.name, book1.author, and book1.id. So in this way, structures allow you to define your own data type. In our case, we have defined the data type book, and this data type book has the trait name, author, and ID, right? And then using this data type, we have defined a variable, like we define it like this. So we have the data type. The data type in our case is book, and the name in our case is book1, right? And then we can assign values to our variables like this and like this. And when we want to access the values inside the variable, you can just access it like this: book1 dot whatever value you want to access. So you want to access book1's name, then you can write book1 name, book1 author, and book1 ID. Okay, so in this way you can access the structure's content, and you can define more books like book2, book3, and you can assign values, and you can access the content inside this books. So in this way, you can define your own data type using struct. And by the way, you can also use functions inside the structure. This is a little bit high level programming. So for basic, it's okay to use just the default data types. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and bye for now.